In this video, I have a 2022 Ford Transit 350 XLT, and I'm going to be changing the oil. This vehicle takes 6 quarts of 5W30. I'm gonna go ahead and use the full synthetic Restore and Protect. We just got this vehicle, and I don't know when the last oil change was. So I'm gonna use Restore and Protect, and this is gonna go in, and it's pretty effective in removing deposits inside of the engine components. I also have one of the higher quality oil filters. This is Mobile One. It takes the M1 212A. This vehicle is already elevated off the ground pretty high, so I'm actually not going to jack it up and get it off the ground higher. This is gonna be enough for me. It may not be enough for you though. If you do need to jack it up, very easy. There's a massive subframe right here that you can position off of, depending on how big your jack is. This is a 9,000 pound vehicle, so be careful, use the proper equipment, and just make sure you're safe. That's all I have to say. The hood release pop is located right here, so you'll pull that. It's a cable release. That'll pop up the hood. You can prop it up. Engine oil filler cap is located right here on the top side of the engine. Nice and easy to get to. And the filter is easy to find as well. I'm gonna just enter underneath the bumper. And the filter is right there. Okay, so I've scooted underneath. This is the front bumper. This is that support bar. And then this is your engine oil pan. And the engine oil nut that you're removing is right here. To kind of position you can see that the nut is facing the passenger front tire. So get your container positioned, because it's going to arc and, you know, mess. Hopefully it doesn't run into all this stuff, but it looks like it might. Okay, this engine oil nut is 15 millimeter. I went ahead and put my socket on and I broke it, and it is now loose, so I can spin it with my hand. I like to use a glove so I don't get all this stuff in my skin. I'm gonna position my container so that it catches it without making too big of a mess. Wish me luck. And I'm gonna go ahead and hand turn this. I'm going to apply pressure toward the engine oil pan so that I can try to prevent drips before the bolt is out. You can see the green gasket on there. Looks like it's in great shape. Okay, it looks like feels like it's off, so I'm going to go ahead and release. Go ahead and put this for safekeeping down here. Okay, and I will just let this sit. I'm expecting 6 quarts to come out, and that is about as dark as you can get. So I'm glad I'm doing this right now. I'm gonna put in this Restore and Protect. It's full synthetic, and full synthetic's typically good for around 7,500 to 10,000 miles. I'm gonna actually change. I want this engine to get real clean, so I'm gonna put this Restore and Protect in and drive it 3,000 miles, and then I'm gonna change it again with another batch of Restore and Protect, just so that I can get this clean. Got this vehicle at 80,000 miles. It was a rental vehicle, one owner, but it was a rental, so it got driven hard probably, and I don't know if they did as much maintenance on it as they should, so I'm hoping to change its course of life and keep this thing for a while. All right, I'll let this run for a while. So I got a really big container because I feel like this is gonna be messy. So I'm gonna go ahead and start to get this filter off. This filter was put on by the Incredible Hulk apparently. So I have oil filter wrench, and I'm gonna go ahead and grab it and then start to twist it. This is really the only way to get this off. And as you twist, you're gonna notice the oil will start to drip out. There, I think I broke it finally. Get your container right where you want it and get ready for it to rain. This is another one that's good to have gloves because it can get pretty messy. So I'm gonna let much of it drip out first. Okay, I got the filter off, and you can see that it will continue to drip from that upper hole right there. So I have my container positioned just beneath it. So I'm gonna let that drip, and then I'm gonna continue to let my engine oil drip right there. Let this stuff just run out. Okay, it is mainly done dripping, so I'm gonna go ahead and load on the new oil filter canister. And I also want to say you should visually inspect and make sure that you don't have any debris or any other gaskets stuck to where you're about to install this cartridge. I like to fill up the oil filters with oil so you don't have such a dry fire when you start the engine for the first time after the oil change. You can only do this on vertically mounted oil filters. I can't do this on our Subaru because the oil filter goes on upside down. So this one you can. I've also done like Ram trucks where the filter goes on sideways, 90 degrees sideways, and that's challenging. Okay, and the rule of thumb is you want to twist this hand tight. Make sure that you have no leaking and no gaps. Get it nice and cleaned up. That way if you do form any leaks, you can see it dripping down. So this is a good installed filter. I'm gonna move on to the engine oil bolt. Okay, the dripping has pretty much stopped. This thing will drip all night if you let it. So at some point you just gotta kind of call it quits. I got the oil drain plug in my hand right now. I'm inspecting the rubber gasket. There's no cracks, it looks great. I'm gonna go ahead and pop this sucker back in, hand twist it. That will cause the dripping to stop and close up the system. There's only 2 points in a healthy system where the engine oil will drain out of, and that's gonna be the 2 points we just closed up with the oil filter and with this oil drain plug. The oil drain plug is this bolt that I just screwed into the engine oil pan. I got that hand tightened. I'm gonna go ahead and clean up. I'm gonna get my 15 millimeter and tighten that up with 2 hands. This is aluminum, so don't over tighten. You can crack this and you'll have a bigger problem on your hands. Torque spec, go until you grunt. Okay. Okay, so in review, after seeing the arc that the oil made, it actually did not hit this support bar. It didn't hit anything. It perfectly went into this void right here. So that was a really nice oil filter. All right, so now my system's closed up. I'm gonna go on the top side of the engine and put in my 6 quarts. All right, putting in the 6 quarts now. All right, I just put in 5.5 quarts just as a demonstration. I wish I recorded the dipstick when I read it, but the dipstick was reading at the upper mark, the one that's right there, after 5.5 quarts. So I went ahead and I turned the engine on. Remember, the system was dry, so all the lines had to fill, the filter had to fill up completely. I let it run for 30 seconds, turned it off, and now the oil line is at the lowest level right here because I still need to put in another 1/2 quart. So I just wanted to give you that demonstration of when you're putting in the oil, you don't want to read with the dipstick as you're putting the oil in before the vehicle's been turned on, because you dried the system out. So you have to turn it on, let the system pressurize and run, and fill the lines, fill the filter fully, and then you put it in. So trust what the manual says. You need 6 quarts exactly. All right, and now after 6 quarts, you can see that the top line is right in the middle of the hash marks on this dipstick, so it is perfectly full. All right, just finished putting in the 6 quarts. Everything looks good. You always want to turn it on and make sure you have no leaks. Nothing spraying out with high pressure. Hope that video was helpful for you. Thank you for watching.